Hey, what's up guys, it's Moza Man here. Now in this video we're going to be talking about dividend paying stocks, and I'm going to show you guys how you can buy dividend paying stocks that will pay you every single month out of the year. So that's January, February, March, all the way through to December, 12 payments without fail. Now this is a great way to make passive income. I mean, I use some of these payments to pay off my bills, my broadband bills, my phone bills. It's a great way to do that. Or if you have enough money to invest, and some people can actually live off these investments, go off, go on holiday all year round, don't have to work, just rely on the dividend payments every single month to pay them, and they can just live off that. So whatever the reason is, this is a great way to earn income passively, and it's so easy to set up, it's so easy to do. All you need is upfront money and to get started, and that's it. So guys, this video is going to be a practical video, a tutorial like video, so you can follow it every step of the way. What I'm going to do is start with a big list of dividend paying stocks and filter it down to the point where I have enough stocks to pay me every single month. What actually happened when I went through this whole process myself, and I'll show you exactly how I did it, is I only really needed 3 stocks. That's right guys, 3 stocks only that's going to pay me every single month. So stick with it and check it out. So guys, if you like the sound of this video, then as always, smash that like button. It really does help out the YouTube algorithm, and it puts a massive smile on my face. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. With that said, let's now get straight into the video. Alright guys, so the first part of this whole process is you want to collate or make a list of all the dividend paying stocks that you could potentially invest in. The best way I found to do this is just go out there and do your own research. So what I like to do is jump onto Google, jump online, and just search this stuff. Just search what are the top dividend paying stocks, what are the experts saying, read some articles about what the experts are saying and what are their stock picks. Just do that kind of information. Every time I come across an article which I feel is reliable and the source is quite reliable, then I just make a list of that dividend paying stock and just keep building that list up and up as much as possible. So you want to make this list as comprehensive as possible, as big as possible, because we're going to eventually filter it down to a point where we've got a few number of stocks that we're going to actually invest in. So it's good to have a wide range of stocks to pick from. Now what I've done for this video and what I've done personally for myself is I'm actually pick a list of 31 different dividend paying stocks, both with UK and US stock. Now some of the sources that I've used, there's something called Morningstar, there's a Forbes article which I thought was pretty cool, and some other sources, but all that information is in the video description below. Everything that I talk about in this video, how I do everything step by step, is also in the description below, so complete transparency. So if you want to follow along or just replicate everything that I'm doing, you can do so. So again, here's my list, there's 31 here, so that's the first step. Just put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and we're going to build upon this list. So it's good to use Excel to do this, so I'll show you how that's all done. Right guys, the next step is now we want to start adding on some information to these stocks. So we want to put in the current share price, of course. We want to put in the dividend yield, the percentage yield. We also want to put in the type of dividend this is. So how often do they pay? Is it monthly, is it quarterly, or is it every year? So most of these stocks are going to be paying quarterly. Most dividend paying stocks pay quarterly anyway, so it's good to have that information in there. So now this is what our spreadsheet looks like now with all that information in there. Now let's move on to the next part. Right guys, so the next thing we want to do is add on the payment dates for each of these individual stocks. Right, the best way to do this is to jump onto a website called dividendmax.com. Now over there you can search for the stock you're looking for, and it gives you all the information you need. So now here is our populated spreadsheet with all the different dividend payments, and we'll try to cover the whole year, so the entire year. Since most of our stocks are paying quarterly, we're going to split it into 4 quarters. Okay, so try and populate each of the quarters as much as possible. Now for the stocks that say interim or final, that basically means that that company only pays dividends probably once or twice a year. So for those ones, we're not going to have each of our quarters populated, but that's absolutely fine. Right guys, now that we've got the boring stuff out of the way, now let's move on to the fun stuff where we get to pick the stocks that we're going to invest in that's going to pay us every single month. What I'm going to do is jump onto the computer and go through all this on Excel, on an Excel spreadsheet, so you guys can follow through step by step. Okay, so here's our list that we collected earlier. Okay, now we've currently got 31 in this list. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to take out any stocks or any companies that you just don't know very much about, or you probably never heard of. Okay, and the reason why I say that is one of the principles I like to follow when I'm investing is I like to invest in companies that I know, invest in companies that I see, or companies that I use in my everyday life, because these are the ones that I can really understand, and understanding the company makes you a much better investor. In fact, Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, always talks about this concept: invest in what you know, invest in what you can see, invest on something that you constantly use. Okay, those are the best companies to invest in. Right? So let's go ahead and just take out companies I just have no clue about, or I just don't know much about, so I don't feel comfortable investing in it. So, companies like Aflac, I've never heard of these. I think they're some sort of insurance company. So I'm just going to quickly go through these and take out some of these companies. I do know what Compass is, but I don't know much about it. So I'm just going to go through that list. And then once you've done that, copy and paste the remaining list into this second tab called Dividend Stock List 1. So as you can see here, I've copied in that list, and now I've taken my list down to 18 stocks. Okay, so now I've got 18 stocks that I'm fairly comfortable about, that I know this company fairly well, and I can invest in any one of them. So now the next thing you want to do is you want to start adding on some information here, and want to do some calculations. I'm going to use AT&T as our example, and let's say number of shares. So let's say we pick a default number of 100 shares. Okay, so what would the cost of these 100 shares? So the cost of 100 shares will be 100 times £24.39. Now, I've converted all the share prices into pounds because this is a UK channel, so let's keep it British. Anyway, 100 shares will cost you £2,439.20. The next thing you want to calculate, okay, is the payment per share. This is the dividend payment per share. And this is simply done by the share price multiplied by the dividend yield divided by 4. Now we're dividing it by 4 because this is a quarterly paid dividend, so every 4 times a year. So we're going to divide this number by 4, and what we're left is 42 pence, so 0.42 pounds. Okay, so that means every share that we own, we can expect a dividend payment of 42 pence. All right. So the next thing is, let's calculate how much we'll actually get paid if we had 100 shares of this stock. So all we do is simply do payment per share multiplied by number of shares, and that's it. So £42.02 is the result. So that basically means if I was to own 100 shares of the stock AT&T, I'll get paid £42.02 based on 6.89% dividend yield. Okay, so if, for example, if we look at the next pay date, which is the 3rd of August 2020, £42 is the amount I'm going to expect to get paid if I owned 100 shares. So as simple as that. Now the total payment for the year will simply just be this figure times by 4 quarters in a year, and it's £168.06. So our investment of £2,439, we could expect to get paid £168 of dividend payments per year. Right, now that's done, let's just fill out the rest of these rows for the rest of these stocks. So I'll just quickly do an auto fill like so. Okay, and there we have it, guys. We have all the different payment per shares and how much we can expect to get paid if we had 100 shares of each of these stocks. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do, or the next thing you want to do, is you want to start getting rid of or filtering out some of the ones that are just not worthwhile. At the end of the day, we want to get paid income. Okay, we want to get paid income every single month, and we need it to be worthwhile. If we look at this, for example, Burberry here, the dividend yield is only 0.71%. That's nothing. I don't see even, what's the point? Okay, so for investing £1,500, you only expect to get paid £2. It's just not worth it, right? So the next thing I'll do is I'll go to this little filter here, dividend yield. And I'm just going to take out all the stocks that are offering below 5% dividend yield, okay? And that'll give us a much better list. And that's it. We'll take this list now on to our next step. So we're going to move this, copy and paste this into dividend stock list 2. And here we are. Right. Now we're left with 12 stocks. So we're left with 12 stocks that, one, I'm fairly comfortable with, okay, that I know these companies are pretty strong. I know these companies well enough to be happy to invest in them. Secondly, they're offering pretty decent dividend yields. You can technically at this point just invest in every single one of these stocks, right? I mean, they're pretty cool, good stocks at the moment. So if we were to do just the total, let's say a total of all these. So imagine you had 100 shares of each of these stocks. So that's around about a £27,000 investment. And let's see how much you expect to make the whole year in terms of dividend yield. So you expect to make £1,927 based off your £27,000 investment, which is roughly I think that's around 7% return per year, which is not too bad. So 7% return is not too bad. Also, don't forget, if your stock value is growing, then you're also making money that way. But remember that dividend yields do fluctuate. So if the stock price goes up, then expect the dividend yield to come down, and if the stock price goes down, then expect the dividend yield to go up. So the dividend yields do fluctuate a lot, but based on these figures right here, this is what we can expect to get paid. Now we're in a position now where we can start picking the stocks based on getting paid every single month of the year. So what I've done next is I created another little tab here called payment calendar, and I've got all the months selected here. And what we're going to do is go through our list. So go back to our list, and we're going to pick every stock that pays us in January, February, March, and just copy it into here. So if we go back to our list here, let's start here in Q1 column right here. So let's find the stock that pays in January. So we found one right off the bat right here, and that is Xerox. Xerox pays in 31 of Jan. And we've got another stock down here, PPL, that also pays in the 1st of Jan. So you can pick either of these. So I'll just pick Xerox and just simply put it into here. So that's January covered. Next, February. So right off the bat, AT&T pays in February. We've got another one down here, I believe. Yeah. And British American Tobacco, BATS, also pays in February, but I'll just go with AT&T. Big American giant of a company, AT&T. There, that's February covered. Now let's look for a March stock. So we've got two here for March. We've got Wells Fargo and Chevron Corp. We'll just take Wells Fargo. Plug it into here. Next, April. So if we now look for April, we might need to go in Q2 now. So April, we've got Xerox. Now, I'm not sure if you're noticing a pattern here, but we've already got Xerox. We've already bought it, so we don't have to buy another stock to cover us for April. So Xerox will cover us for both January and April. Now, if I continue with this, and you guys will see a pattern emerging. So next after April is May. So April, May, we've got AT&T. Perfect. And then let's look for a June stock. What's in June? We've got Wells Fargo. We've already got Wells Fargo already covered. Do you see a pattern, guys? Right? So don't forget, these companies, they pay every quarter, every 3 months. And that's it, guys, right? Xerox, AT&T, and Wells Fargo is enough. If you were to buy them today, is enough to cover you for the entire year, every single month, from January to December. Let's quickly double check that so I'm not making this up. So let's check AT&T. So AT&T's schedule is February, May, August. So August to get paid, and then November, which is what we have here, August and November. So guys, essentially we only need 3 stocks to enable us to get paid every single month, right? So the stocks that we picked, so if we go back to our spreadsheet here, the stocks that we picked were AT&T, Wells Fargo, and Xerox, okay? So there we have it, just these 3 stocks, and we get paid every single month. January, February, March, April, May, June, all the way to December, okay? Now, if we look at the numbers here, if you were to buy 100 shares of each of these stocks, okay, currently it'll cost you around £6,000 and 42 pence, okay? This is at the time of, it's 15th here, but I actually did this based off the 12th of June 2020. So that's what it will actually cost you. And you can expect a payment of £423 and 42 pence per year, which represents, let's see, 7%, which is not too bad, which is quite decent, okay? Now, if you want to beef this up a little bit, to get a bit more out of your money, then, you could add more stocks. So one thing I did is I did BP and Imperial Brands because they had quite decent dividend yields at the moment, okay? Very attractive yields and pretty strong brands, strong companies. So if I just beef it up a little bit and pick these 5 stocks, and as you can see here, our potential return goes up to 8%, right? So there you have it, guys. That's my 5. So I'm going to copy these 5 stocks into my dividend stock list 3 tab, and here we go, and that's it. So hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe and see you guys next time.